What's up, Taiwan? I'm Eric Gao with the news from here in Taipei. Stocks are plummeting in Taiwan's financial markets following a shaky week in Wall Street amid geopolitical tensions and waning confidence in AI. Reese Ayers is live for us at the Taiwan Stock Exchange with more on the recent market fluctuations. Reese, what's driving this crash?
Oh, well, Eric, here in Taipei, the markets just closed about 30 minutes ago. You can see a lot of green behind me, which might look good, but actually green in Taiwan means down and red means up. So a bad day for investors. Taiwan's actually seeing a record loss today, over 1,800 points. That's almost at the 10% daily limit of the stop limit, with Foxconn and TSMC, two of Taiwan's biggest companies, both in the tech sphere, actually hitting that 10% daily limit. It's been a rough week in Taiwan and abroad as investors are in panic mode, selling off stocks across markets. And Taiwan's stock exchange, or TAIEX, is particularly sensitive to movements in the tech sphere and to how the US market performs. If we take a look at the last couple of months in Taiwan, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. So here at the beginning of August, we've seen this recent massive drop-off due to fears about the AI industry. A bit more on that in a moment. But earlier in June, there was actually the opposite, as there was more confidence in tech and AI, a lot more foreign investment coming into Taiwan. It hosted Computex, which was a computer expo. There was a slight drop-off later on as Joe Biden exits the presidential race, but then it spikes again as Taiwan's TSMC, who produces chips, semiconductors, reports its earnings and its stock prices go up. Another drop later on in July as Typhoon Gaemi hits Taiwan, and now this massive drop-off over fears in the AI industry. Now, that's one of the big reasons why we're seeing this crash, not just in Taiwan, but across the world. There's falling confidence in tech, particularly as people begin to question the profitability of AI. And the US tech prices are falling, and that has a direct impact on the Taiwanese market as the producer of most of the world's most powerful semiconductors or chips. So less faith in tech and AI means maybe less demand for Taiwanese tech. And when tech prices fall, the entire Taiwanese stock market feels the effects. Now, there's also global instability with increasing tensions in the Middle East and ongoing conflict in Ukraine. We've got political instability. We've got uncertainty over the US elections coming up in November. All of these contributing to a shaky global market. Now, Taiwan's market saw the steepest fall off in Asia, but other markets in the continent also feeling the effects, including in Japan and in India. Though as Asia's best performing market so far this year, there are hopes that the Taiwanese market could stabilize relatively quickly. Though now with the US market opening later on today, that could dictate global markets in the coming weeks.
Thanks for that, Reese. That was Reese Ayers reporting live from the Taiwan Stock Exchange in Taipei. Team Taiwan has won its first gold medal at the Paris Olympics in men's badminton doubles. Meanwhile, boxer Ling Yuting has advanced to the women's featherweight boxing semifinal. Leslie Liao has more from Paris.
Taiwan has struck gold at the Paris Olympics. Defending badminton's men's doubles gold medalists Li Yang and Wang Qiling have successfully defended their title by beating Chinese duo Liang Weikeng and Wang Cang in the gold medal match. They are the first badminton men's duo in Olympic history to defend their gold.
这3年来，我们经历了真的非常多，就是起起伏伏，然后也经历了许多质疑声。那中间的过程，就是我们两个自己知道非常清楚，所以能再次站上颁奖台，然后又可以让国旗哥在会场去做播放，我们真的觉得非常的感动。那一刻真的是有哽咽。
Li and Wang beat their opponents in 3 sets in an intense match that lasted over an hour. The duo rode an incredible hot streak through Paris, winning 7 matches in a row on their way to the gold medal.
其实像麒麟讲的，其实第3局我们其实感觉有点累了，然后体能有点下滑。那时候我们真的很感谢现场所有观众跟支持者嘛，然后在荧幕后面的所有人。 因为他们的鼓励，我们才可以继续在场上坚持。1、2、3，
Plenty of Taiwanese fans showed up to cheer Li and Wang on. Among them was Wang's uncle, who came all the way from England to support his nephew.
我就昨天坐1天的车子，7点出发到巴黎欧洲之行，巴黎8点，所以今天绕了1天，喊到70岁，喊到没有喉咙，为台湾争光。
Paris may very well be Li and Wang's last Olympics together. Li has previously said that he plans on retiring at the end of this year.
因为我打完之后要退役嘛，对我来讲象征羽毛球带给我很多美好，让我认识了大家，让我认识很多贵人、美好的人，然后我那个举动希望可以跟他好好吻别。
Li and Wang's win isn't the only victory Taiwan is celebrating today. Boxer Ling Yuting successfully beat Bulgarian boxer Svetlana Staneva in the 57-kilogram category to move on to the semifinals, which guarantees her a bronze medal.
拜托我们的禽收团队、映客团队给予我们最大的支持，然后我们看这个影片去检讨、去禽收，那我们可以找到一个制定出最好的策略跟方案。
Ling's next matchup is on Wednesday here in Paris. She's been progressing through the Olympics amid questions about her gender eligibility, questions that the International Olympic Committee and Taiwan's government have both dismissed. Taiwan's current official medal tally at the Paris Olympics so far sits at 1 gold and 2 bronze. Howard Zhang, Lian Lian, and Leslie Liao in Paris, France for TaiwanPlus.
Li and Wang's badminton gold has triggered celebrations among Taiwanese fans at home and across the world. Chris Gorn reports.
Jubilation as these Taiwanese fans celebrate their country's first gold medal of the 2024 Paris Olympics. Taiwan's Li Yang and Wang Qilin victorious after a tense match against China in the men's doubles badminton final. More than 1,000 Taiwanese fans gathered at Taipei Main Station to watch the match and were elated with the victory.
我觉得他们真的太厉害了，这中间真的非常紧张，但是我们挺进了金牌，拿到了金牌，我觉得非常的厉害，我觉得非常感动。
It was an emotional moment for many fans. Olympic rules and pressure from China mean Taiwan can only participate under the name Chinese Taipei and without the national flag. Fans attending matches in Paris say they have had their Taiwan flags confiscated and have been forced to wash painted flags from their faces. In one such incident, a supporter's sign was taken away by another spectator. There are circumstances that make the win even more significant.
然后加上前2天就有发生，就是我们东西被撕掉，然后毛巾也被没收，所以我觉得今天这一场就是这个金牌战对不管是台湾人还是李阳都很重要，而且这也是李阳的最后一战，所以哭出来。对，就会觉得对不管对他或是对大家都蛮重要，也算是一个强心剂吧。
It's a sentiment shared by Taiwanese fans back home.
当然会就是说国际赛事挥舞着国旗，当然会非常期待啊，对啊，希望有一天可以这样子很勇敢的拿出来，又不会被抢。
But with a gold medal under their belt, fans here are basking in a moment of glory. James Lin and Chris Gorin for TaiwanPlus.
Violent riots have erupted across the UK after a stabbing last week claimed the lives of 3 young children at a dance class. The far-right demonstrators are targeting Muslim communities, immigrants, and ethnic minorities after social media falsely labeled the suspected killer's religion. Harold Hughes has the story.
British police clash with rioters in the northern town of Rotherham as a wave of anti-immigration protests grip the UK. Rioters in several cities have spent days targeting asylum seekers, immigrants, and ethnic minorities with violence, arson, and looting, blaming the groups for a deadly stabbing in England's north. It's the worst social unrest here in years. In a televised address to the nation, Prime Minister Keir Starmer condemned the action from who he called far-right thugs.
People in this country have a right to be safe, and yet we've seen Muslim communities targeted, attacks on mosques, other minority communities singled out, Nazi salutes in the street, attacks on the police, wanton violence alongside racist rhetoric. So no, I won't shy away from calling it what it is. far-right thuggery.
The protests were triggered by a stabbing rampage at a dance class last week in the north of England that left 3 girls dead and several wounded. Social media misinformation claimed the suspected killer was a radical Muslim immigrant. But despite police revealing 17-year-old Axel Rudakabana was born in Britain and UK media reporting his family is Christian, anti-immigration and anti-Muslim riots have continued, leaving minority communities feeling at risk.
I feel like unsafe to stay in Southport, really.
Britain's Interior Minister Yvette Cooper says the criminal action has no place on the UK streets and promised those rioting will face the full force of the law.
I want everyone to be clear. Anyone who gets involved in criminal disorder, violent thuggery on our streets will have to pay the price, and they should expect there to be arrests, prosecutions, penalties, and the full force of the law, including imprisonment, travel bans, and more. 150 arrests have already been made, and far-right protesters have also been met with pushback from counter-demonstrators, chanting, "Refugees are welcome here." Many residents say those rioting don't represent the wider community and have come out in numbers to clean up and stand in solidarity with those being targeted.
I think it was really important to show the people of Springbank, our Black and Asian community, that, you know, if people are going to bring 200 people out to incite hate, we're going to bring 20,000 out to incite good.
Police have been granted extra powers to bring the disorder under control, as far-right protesters plan to continue taking to the streets while the cabinet holds an emergency meeting, searching for a way to put an end to the hate-fueled violence. Alex Chen, Rosie Greninger, and Harrell Hughes for TaiwanPlus.
Almost 100 people were killed in Bangladesh on Sunday as protesters continue to call for Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina to step down. Authorities have reimposed curfews and internet restrictions as tens of thousands of people take to the streets. The protests started as a student movement against a quota system for public sector jobs. It has since expanded to demanding Hasina's government resign over accusations of corruption and police brutality. Hundreds of people have been killed since the protests began last month. New government data shows Taipei has the highest levels of youth unemployment out of Taiwan's major cities. The jobless rate among 15 to 24-year-olds in the capital reached 15.3% in the first half of the year. Now that's higher than in most other advanced economies. Industry sources say the city's rising cost of living and stagnant wages are keeping young workers from taking jobs that they feel are below their expectations. The Taipei city government in late March launched a transportation subsidy for job seekers to help boost employment in the city. The capital's mayor says they will now expand that program after the initial uptake fell far short of their target.
今年10月里，这是跨局处要共同努力。对于寻职青年共享运具的补助，我们会加大力道的宣传，扩大补助的对象范围，然后从原本的补助1个月拉长到2个月。
A harbor in southern Taiwan is clearing out tons of driftwood more than a week after Typhoon Gaemi hit the country. Activity in the harbor has slowed to a crawl as piles of wood are pulled out. Boat crews say the wood can damage hulls and propellers. Taiwan's Forestry Service is helping with this cleanup. Communities around Taiwan are still dealing with the effects of the typhoon. The storm made landfall in Taiwan on July 24th. 11 people lost their lives. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with images of pin traders and collectors from around the world gathering in Paris, engaging in what's become known as an unofficial Olympic sport. I'm Eric Gao. Take care, and we'll see you next time.